Welcome back to Key Shapes. This one is just for strings. It's an introduction to Key Shapes worksheets. Working through the Key Shapes worksheets for each of the 15 key signatures will help you have a much better understanding of hand shapes and hand shape sequences on the fingerboard. After you complete this work, it's very likely that you'll feel more comfortable with shifting, that your key-related muscle memory will be enhanced, your sight reading will be dramatically improved. Learning any new repertoire will take less time. Here's a universal 4-octave major scale pattern review here of the Tetrachord Cycle. What's the shape of the tetrachord starting on Do, the first note of this universal 4-octave scale? Well, it's a 3-4. And let's continue on through and discover the cycle. The next tetrachord is 3-4. After that is 2-3. The next one is another 2-3. Then to a 1-2. And another 1-2. And finally a 4-1. After that we go back to the beginning of the cycle. On all strings and in all positions, you are always somewhere in this cycle. 3-4, 3-4, 2-3, 2-3, 1-2, 1-2, 4-1. Learning the cycle is easy, and using the cycle is very helpful. Critical elements for understanding key shapes include knowing your key signatures and scale construction. We're going to work on this page in the key of G. You need to know keyboard note sequences and know that it's the same up and down any string as on the keyboard. So what we're doing here is we're building a G major scale on the keyboard and then duplicating that over on the fingerboard. Please note that the pitches in the upper half of any string sound the same as the lower half of the next higher string. In performance, you have options. And we're going up to the top of every string, getting a full octave on each string. So now that we've gone up the string, knowing our keyboard, we're going to look at the tetrachord shapes. In first position, we've got 2-3 on the G, 2-3 on the D, 1-2 on the A and the E. In second position, we've got 1-2 on the G and the D, 4-1 on the A, and 3-4 on the E. In third position, we've got 4-1 on the G, 3-4 on the D and the A, and 2-3 on the E. Instructions for completing the Key Shapes worksheets. You'll see a 1-octave pattern on both sides of the paper, but the right side is for the arpeggio notes, and we'll do that soon. We're going to clear that off of the screen for now. First thing, identify the key for this page in the upper left-hand corner. Draw your clef and draw the key signature. On the left diagram, use your keyboard knowledge to enter every note in the key on each string, all the way up the string. So we're in the key of D, but it's the G string. So we're going to have, because we're in the key of D, we're going to have C sharp, not C, and we're going to have F sharp, not F. Now we go to the D string. Most students find that the more of these you do, the quicker the process gets. So we're just using our piano knowledge to go up B, whole step to C sharp, half step to D, whole step to E. Identify the tetrachord shapes in first, then second, and third positions. Position 1, first position, starts on the letter normally played by the first finger. Looking at this, we've got a 3-4, and then a 2-3, and then a 2-3, and a 1-2 on the E string. So that's what we're going to enter for first position, 3-4, 2-3, 2-3, 1-2. The key shape for the key of D major is 3-4, 2-3, 2-3, 1-2 in first position. Second position starts on the next letter up. So looking at that, starting on the B, we've got a 2-3, and then a 1-2, and another 1-2, and then a 4-1. So that's what we enter. So in the key of D, second position on the violin is going across the strings, 2-3, 1-2, 1-2, 4-1. Third position starts on the next letter up. So we're going to start on the C sharp on the G string. That's a 1-2. Moving over to the D string is a 4-1. And then both of the upper strings, you're going to have a 3-4 tetrachord. Notice that these all fit within the cycle that we talked about. All right, how about the other side? The right side of the diagram, we're going to identify only the notes in the arpeggio that starts on the first note of the scale. Arpeggios are 3-note groups built with a root, a third, and a fifth. It might be handy for you to write 1, 3, 5 above that side. 1 is D in this case, 3 is F sharp, and 5 is A. And so you're going to go through the same process you did on the left side, but you're not going to fill in as many notes. You're only going to fill in the notes that are in the arpeggio, starting on the first note of the scale. Now we can look to see where we'll have 1 octave arpeggio. In this case for violin, viola, or violin, it'd be 1-3, 1-4. Starting on the D string, it'd be open, and then high 2, open, and 3. And in third position on the upper 2 strings, 1-3, 1-4. When choosing where to play passages and exercises, use your keyboard knowledge to work up and down the strings. Use your tetrachord cycle knowledge to work across the strings. Three-octave violin fingerings sample for the key of A flat. We're going to start in half position on the G string and have a 3-4, 3-4 pair for the first octave. The second octave is going to start on fourth finger on the D string. So what you're going to have then, starting on that fourth finger, you're going to have 2-3 and another 2-3, but you're going to shift to that third finger with your first finger. And the upper octave is going to be a 3-4, but you're going to shift through it, and then another 3-4 on top. This is a universal pattern. It stays in first position as long as possible. When you've completed the worksheet, see how many other ways you can find to play the scale. But memorize this pattern because it's good for all other keys, except for the key of G. Application of key shapes. Here we go. When selecting fingerings for repertoire and technique exercises, you have many options to choose from. In general, playing in lower positions will give you better tone because there's more string vibrating. But many passages will be more playable in positions higher than first. Minimizing shifting is usually a good choice. For any tricky passages, identify the highest and the lowest pitches and the best places for string crossings. Then decide which position or sequence of shifts will work best. Be mindful of the tetrachord shapes along the way. It'll help you remember what you're doing. Review the Tetrachord Cycle. The relationship between the note sequences on the keyboard and fingerboard. using the keyboard knowledge to find the notes moving up and down the string, using the Tetrachord Cycle knowledge to remember patterns across the string, converting tetrachord sequences to scale patterns. Complete a Key Shapes worksheet page for each of the 15 key signatures. If you're ready for the challenge, identify both the major and the minor do for each key signature. Begin the process of learning all 1, 2, and 3 octave scales. Using tetrachord patterns help with memorizing key patterns and recognizing similarity between patterns for various keys. Thank you for learning how to complete all 15 Key Shapes worksheets, how to apply tetrachord patterns to scale and repertoire patterns. Feel free to review this show as needed and to ask your teacher any questions you have. See you next time.